I don't know how to audio balance the song. It's like so loud. What the heck? Yo, 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 what up, Synchro? What up, Wander? What up, Omu? What up, Broke? What up, Demi? Congrats on the first Omu, the second Wander, the dailies Omu, Broke, and Demi. And thank you for the hydrate, Synchro. I hydrated and not unhydrated. Get wrecked. Yeah, okay, cool. Hello, hello, hello. God, I am so sleepy. I'm ready to go back to bed, but we're gonna stream a little bit, you know, a fun hour, maybe 2. Actually, probably 2 hours. Maybe 3, though. 2 hours, maybe 3. And then I'm out. I'm out of here. But, we're gonna play Soundless today. Which is... It is. I don't know how to describe this game. It's... I think it's about a cult. Soundless voice. Sicko. Yo, thank you for the 3-streak, Demi. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And no muting for you. Thinking, brain. Loading. Thinking. Not happening. What was I thinking about? Not that. That man's a sicko. Any second now, it'll come back to me. Oh, yes. This game asked me if I wanted to censor the gore. So I said yes, because I don't know how bad it gets, but apparently it also said it doesn't get that bad. So I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. So, we're gonna just find out, I guess. I'm sure it's not important. Yeah, right? Like, why would it be important? It would make sense to be important. In a way, it would make sense if it was important, you know? How do I get to this tab? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Anyways, I played some Fortnite earlier. We got a win. W win. Okay, I haven't opened this game until like right now, so I don't know what I'm working with here. Can I just press this and it'll show the game? Boom. Soundless. Oh, it actually worked. Okay. Soundless. Okay. This game's about like cults and stuff and manipulation and, you know, the works. Oh, you don't have game audio. Hold on. You know, the works. I think this is probably gonna be loud, but let me know what you think. How do you like these audios? Are they loud? Are they loud in your ears? Are they as loud in your ears as they are in mine? What do you guys think of this? Is this a fun listen? Sounds pretty loud, you think? Are you sure? Maybe it's just not loud enough. But it's like a comfortable loud. Really? Synchro's already muting, but he can't do that. Oh, by the way, yeah, as mentioned, the Fadathon's extended into 3 days, so it'll be today, tomorrow, and the day after. So all contributions will be made towards the usual wheel spins and whatnot. But additional time will be added. So it'll just be today, tomorrow, and the day after. Okay, I think it's quieter now. This might be more comfortable loud. Let's just load in and see. My cursor's like a little sword. Oh, you can't see my cursor. Everyone's singing to each other. Happy songs, angry songs, sad songs, nostalgia songs. In this town, songs of every kind are heard every day. Sometimes their songs go on non-stop, without any rests. They're songs shared between good friends or bitter enemies, who, either way, can't stop chattering with one another. Sometimes the songs are slow, deliberate, and meaningful. They're songs shared between older people or someone delivering a sermon. And sometimes the songs don't have much melody. They're between inexperienced composers, too nervous to share their work. What is that? What is that icon? When I was little, my mom sung every word to me to clear up the monotony of my everyday life in this town. Since then, everything sounds like a song. Nothing can ever get boring if you... What? Nothing can ever get boring if you hear the melodies between everyone's words. But now nobody sings to me anymore. Nobody is allowed to. It's the rule. What is happening? The chairs clattered and screeched before class that morning. Oh, it's just normal. It's just a normal red. Okay. How's this audio? Too loud? Too quiet? Or pretty good, actually? It's like the peak of green, so it's like not too bad on OBS by the look of it. But I don't know about listening to it. Let me know what you think, if it's too loud or anything. The song seems alright. Nothing insane. But you know, I'm kind of getting a feel of it. The chairs clattered and screeched before class that morning. The songs of the students resonated throughout the hall, leaking through the open doors, pouring into the room, drowning and suffocating me. If I spoke to anyone, I'd hear something ugly and vile. I covered my ears. It's better to keep everything soundless. Oh, the noises of all the people went away. A blurry, shapeless beetle crawled its way onto the tip of my finger. It jumped down and merged with the paper, looking perfectly like a pencil smudge. An ink-like tree root grabbed on to my pencil, threatening to pull it down. What? What is happening? The beetle grabbed the pencil? My vision was red, red, red. The beetles did not talk, and neither did the roots. They didn't even chitter or squeak. I couldn't call them friends. I couldn't even call them acquaintances. They were my mortal enemies. No, the town's mortal enemies. Are we enemies with the trees? This is everyone's battle. That's what the head said. I should let someone know. I learned it doesn't matter whether I hide that I'm seeing things or not, because someone will figure it out anyways. Some kids were already looking my way. The teacher walked in, stood in front of a chalkboard with thousands of eyes plastered all over it, and took roll. He did it methodically and mechanically, making sure to get every one of us. It was late enough in the year I could tell when it was my turn without taking my hands off my ears. I croaked out affirmation. Here. Class began. It's no hello? Class began. Like every other time, I get like this, it all blurred together. The notes became indecipherable. The things I wrote in my notebook were either chicken scratch or random strings of letters. I was only copying what was on the board. The bells that signaled the beginning and ending of the lunch period came by quickly. I didn't even bother getting up to take my share. Faust would have probably just stolen my food anyways. What's wrong, Wander? Oh, wow. The bells that signaled the beginning and ending of the lunch period came by quickly. I didn't even bother getting up to take my share. Faust, oh. Okay, got it. Faust would have probably just stolen my food anyways. Before I realized it, school ended just as quickly, and I began to shut my notebook. A familiar hand wedged itself forcefully between the pages before I could completely close it. Hey, Mercy. It was Clara. Right behind her were a few friends. The teacher kept calling on you, but you didn't answer. Is this my Vadim? You're seeing things, aren't you? Look, your notes look like shit. Yes. Clara smiled and giggled, glancing at her friends. You're so easy. Well then, since Dahlia's off training today, I guess we have to take her place. So you can show off your acolyte skills. Faust sauntered past us, smirking at Clara. He was the only one in class who still mocked her. He was a delinquent, someone who needed serious saving. I rarely saw him at church. And I didn't like it when he decided to discipline me. Shut up, Faust. Have a lovely afternoon, Clara. Thankfully, he wasn't interested in messing with me that day. He left the room with his friends without saying anything else, and as soon as the door shut, Clara picked up all the books scattered on my desk. How do you find this game again? So I was, scrolling through Twitter as you do. And while you're scrolling through Twitter, sometimes you just scroll to a post, like a Zato-related post. And they said, damn, I know I asked for Dempa Yuri novels, visual novels, but this is not what I meant, and showed Zato and Soundless. So now we're on Soundless. And that's how I got here. Yes, and Crow. Why are you sweating? Put that sweat away. These are so messy. They're covered in creepy dark blotches. It's weird. It's like they're really cursed or something. You're right. Clara walked out the door. I followed. I don't know who's talking. She approached the trash chute in the hallway. It was large to accommodate for lots of trash from messy kids, so you could fit lots of things in there. What are you doing with my supplies? Take a wild guess, idiot. Clara opened up the trash chute and placed my copy of the Dual Compendium inside. It was the only textbook we worked from, and it was hard to make new copies. If she destroyed that, I don't think that's necessary. But this book touched your other papers, right? The cursed ones? It has to go, Mercy. I'm just looking out for everyone. Yeah, we're just trying to help. I didn't believe that for a second, and lunged at the trash chute, making a desperate grab for my textbook. Clara's two friends restrained me. My body was so weak from taking constant beatings, I couldn't fight back. Not that I'd have fought back if I had the energy anyways. There was no real point. Clara put my notebook in as I looked on, exhausted. Already had a fight, huh? She seemed disappointed. Well, whatever. You're going to get into some serious trouble when the teacher finds out. Everything is so blurred. I think I don't know what the style is, but I think they take pictures of real places and then blur it to make the aesthetic of some of the areas. That's my guess of how they get some of these images. Because it's something Zato had similarly done as well. Except with filtering, with a different filter that wasn't blur. You're going to get into some serious trouble when the teacher finds out. Delilah will be back tomorrow. I'm sure she'll find a good way to discipline you. Nah, it's gotta be whatever's in my cup. You know what? You're right. Pass that over. She placed the schedule book on top of the stack. My heart sunk as I watched her push the whole stack down the chute. The books rattled around as they made their way down and eventually stopped at the compactor beneath her feet. I got you, thank you. Clara shut the chute down. Clara shut the chute door and pressed the button. The compactor came to life with mechanical buzzes and whirs emitted from below. The floor vibrated. There were some plastic and paper crinkling sounds right before it stopped. My textbook. The button turned green again. The girls let go of me and left with Clara, walking down the stairs to the first floor. She called out to me without looking back. Good work, Mercy. See you tomorrow. As their figures disappeared down the stairs, their piercing laughs echoed throughout the empty school building. I was all alone. I decided I might as well get my empty bag and go home. I headed down the stairs to the first floor, past the primary school classes, and pressed my hand against the door anxiously. Everyone is going to be mad. When I left the school, I glanced to my left. Right by the school was a path that led out of the town. I had always been curious about it, but we weren't allowed to leave. I didn't have a reason to leave anyways. I left quickly before I wasted any more time. So my character's a pushover. Again, I walked up the dirt path. I walked up the dirt path to the hill towards. I walked up the dirt path on the hill towards the river in the middle of town. The ground outside was a little damp. Can I turn these noises down? First of all, save. Ah. Okay, we're good. A group of adults stood near the river waiting for the evening drink. I joined them, standing a fair distance away from them, not wanting to attract any attention. Adults were neither kind to me nor cruel. They only kept their distance and walked a little faster when I ended up behind them. Mercy! But the eldest people in the town were different. I looked to my right. There was the old woman who lived near the river, gesturing for me to come. I made my way to her front porch. She reached under her shawl and rummaged around in her dress pockets. Mercy, I made another barrier cross for you. Her wrinkled hand shook as she pulled out a little weaved grass cross tied to a blue ribbon. She always gave these to me. I can speak. I took it and put it in my jacket pocket. Please try wearing it this time. If your true self is harmed spiritually when people are removing the curse, She wiggled her fingers around and closed her eyes, trying to remember what she was going to say. I waited patiently for her to finish. Then, it doesn't matter. We want you to be set free, not destroyed. I clutched it nervously. I didn't want to disappoint her, especially when she was being so nice to me. But the head said when the last time he caught me with one... Oh wait, that's me. But the head said when the last time he caught me with one, then it's protecting the curse? He's paranoid, Mercy. It's fine, trust me. The woman waved her hands dismissively. I nodded, biting my lips, still unsure, and left with a quiet thank you. Members of the clergy came down the hill with baskets full of gilded ladles, and everyone crowded near the river, more and more people joining as time passed. I stood as far as I could from the growing crowd. Some people I recognized from school. They were already in their casual clothes, shoving each other around jokingly and laughing about things I didn't quite understand. Glug, 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 glug. They're gonna take the ladle and pour the water into my mouth. As they do. Do they get like 1 ladle's worth of water per day? The acolytes blessed the ladles with a prayer. Everyone received their share of water, even the old woman. The crowd grew smaller and smaller and smaller. Finally, the last straggler got their water, and I walked towards the only basket of ladles left. The young acolyte, holding it, almost wandered off without me. Victoria, stop! A man who I recognized as Dahlia's father put a hand on her shoulder. The acolyte gave me a disgusted look and reluctantly put down the basket. Dang. Okay. I took a ladle, quickly got my water from the river, and threw it back in the basket, running off to the church on the hill before anyone could say anything. It's better this way. It's always better this way. Mercy, you're late. The head and Heyyo have already finished dinner. The barrier head priestess gave me a disappointed look as I walked through the vestibule and into the nave. Is this like that one nun game? Are you talking about from the makers of the letter? Whatever that game was? Because I think in this one, no, the more recent one. Oh, Indica? Are you talking about Indica? Yeah. Oh. Maybe kind of a little bit. I think this one's more based around the church and town being like very manipulative when it comes to whatever religion they have here. It's meant to be like a cult, I believe. I believe like the way they explained it is it's meant to be like a cult setting. Classic. I ended up slipping and tumbling down on my way up the hill, so I was covered in mud. My whole body hurt. She shook her head and sighed. I suppose you're going without dinner tonight. Come, I'm taking you to your room. Yes, ma'am. She had a nasty look on her face the whole way up the stairs. Am I just adopted into the church? When she tripped on the top step, she groaned. I blinched. You know, Mercy, would it really hurt to be a little more grateful every once in a while? We could have executed you. What? You're aware of that, right? Yes. We feed you. We give you clean clothes. All we're asking is for you to make it back home on time. Yes, ma'am. She opened the door to my room, letting me inside with some parting words. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You'd do best to remember those words. I nodded again. Good night. The priestess shut the door. I peeled off my dirty clothes and put on my nightgown. I then took the little cross in my pocket and hid it at the bottom of my drawer. If an acolyte found it while cleaning my room, they'd tell the head. He'd definitely hit me for it. Hi, Masa. I hope you're doing well today. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for the dailies. Oh my god, congrats on the 40. Congrats, congrats! Welcome in, Masa. I do hope you're doing well today. Exhausted, I climbed into my bed and tried my best to sleep, hoping tomorrow would be a little easier. Bright color. Once I was loved. I had always been able to see things others couldn't. Like white butterflies floating between blades of grass or flowers growing on barren trees. It was a sight I was gifted with. Mom and Dad smiled whenever I told them I saw sparkles around them. Wait, I kind of like this theme. And they always laughed when I said happy grass was growing all around us. So one day, after chorus practice, they approached the head. Very whimsical. Yeah! Whimsical with slight tones of intrigue and mystery. Look, head priestess, our daughter's a prodigy. A one-of-a-kind individual with a penchant for seeing the unseen. Oh. When my parents proved it, we moved out of our little home into the church. I wonder if there's more settings I can use. Config. Transitions. In text. Just can go fast. Font. Image descriptions. Self-voicing. SV volume drop, sound caption, screen shake, buzz sensitivity, cursor. Art, new, violent imagery. I don't know what that means yet. Dang, I don't think I can change the look of the game. I think it's always gonna be presenting the text like this, and I don't think I can make it like the bottom text. The group dressed me in elegant robes and sat me atop a platform on the sanctuary. Day in and day out, people would come and seek my sight, asking if I saw good or bad omens. Everyone's excited, singing was so beautiful. I didn't go to school like the other kids did. I was special. A lot of the kids scowled when their parents dragged them in to see me. I guess it's only fair. I'd always get jealous when I watched them play downhill. A rare few admired me, and most of those rare few tried to take tests to become acolytes when they came of age. Their gaze was refreshing. I welcomed it. My visions were always good. People would smile and thank me, but they weren't allowed to touch me. Mom couldn't even pat my head anymore, but she didn't seem to mind. The head said it was an important rule to uphold. I was at high risk of being tainted by the ugly masses. I didn't argue. He was the leader of the town. He always brought us miraculous medicines and food from seemingly nowhere. So naturally, he was always right. I missed Mom's touch, though. It was something I treasured. She rarely did it, and now she couldn't do it at all. At least I was loved. Lucky Cyan? Kinda! Except our parents are here. My 8th year, my parents died from heart failure, or so I was told. I couldn't remember seeing them actually dead. Suspicious? Look what you did. This isn't my fault! Just because I mentioned she has parents doesn't mean that it's my fault they just died of heart failure suddenly in the next image. It's not how that works. Oh, we're gonna have parent-teacher conference. They died of heart failure! For a week, I assumed they'd come back eventually, but they never did. Yeah, I would pat my head as I sobbed, telling me everything was going to be okay, that the group would take even better care of me than before. The clergy pitied me for months, and at least once a day, someone would give me a little extra off their plates. It was a generous gesture. We didn't get much of our meals. The villagers left me flowers they picked. Every morning I woke up to more flowers than usual piled near my platform. But it still hurt. My room felt so empty without mom's dresses or dad's shoes messily thrown on the floor. I even missed the alcohol the head gifted them that they hid under the bed. I refused to come downstairs for anything other than the visions. Instead, I cried and cried and cried. My ribs could be seen if you looked under my shirt. When everyone forgot my parents' death, it suddenly seemed like a lot less people were coming. Normally, I felt like a little ant sitting among groups of people. At least I didn't know it was because I got bigger over the years. At first, I didn't know it was because I got bigger over the years, or turnout actually changed. Acolytes would whisper to each other when people wouldn't come for days at a time. Only the elders and devout families made weekly visits. Nobody remembered it was my 9th year.
What?
Yo, Tails! Thank you for the raid! Welcome in, raiders. If you don't know me, I'm Fadelessword. Most people use Fadeless, actually, items, storing praise, art, mentioned, platform, shooting levels, RPG, and other things as well. And that's pretty much it. Welcome in, Tails! So if you haven't already, please go check out Tails. Tails is a catboy VTuber who does a lot of variety himself. Been playing Where the Winds Meet, also some Valorant, some MMO-style games like FF14 and the Sword Art one as well. And yeah! welcome in, Tails. How was your stream? It's a sad, depressing one about cults and evil town churches that keep you hostage and gaslight you forever. That one. Our parents just died of heart failure, too. Allegedly. Also, thank you for shouting out Tails. Game kept crashing on stream, but when it finally worked, I thought, hey, I'm glad it eventually did work and you were able to have fun with it. I hear it's like very intensive, so honestly, it happens with crashes. But I'm glad you had a fun time. That's good to hear. Also, welcome in Scratius. Welcome in Pocky. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome in anyone from the raid. Also, welcome in Giddy. Thank you for the dailies. Congrats on the 27 stamps. I'm glad you had a fun stream. Yeah, this is a soundless, and it's like a cult thing. I just had to leave the city. It was full of stuff. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's when there's the thousands of assets in one place that they're like, huh, maybe you shouldn't be here. Facepalm is crazy. Maybe you shouldn't be here. That's fair. I'm glad you got out. And you were able to explore the game and have fun with it. I still need to play the game. I have been putting it off forever. Mostly because I've been so busy like the past month. But yeah, this is a game, apparently, there's a lot of trigger warnings for this game. So I'd look out for those, probably. Wait, this is on Steam? Wait, this wasn't on Steam when I checked. This wasn't on Steam when I checked. I got this from itch.io. You know what? Let's take a quick, just a quick little break, you know, from the game. Just a quick, slight little break from the game. For no particular reason at all. Oh, hi, Kung. I'm triggered by the trigger warnings. What? But I'm glad you had a good stream. Also, if you need to raid and dip, get some food, do some water, head to bed, completely understandable. Do not even worry about it. That is all good if you do need to. Hi, QC. I hope you're doing well today. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, this game contains depictions of extreme bullying, religious and domestic abuse, cult gore, and torture, and disorienting and surreal scenes. Player discretion is advised. Okay, there you go. There's the list. Huh? Yes, Wander? Which part are you highing at specifically here? Well, what's the matter, Wonder? Okay, I opened the Steam version, which still has my saves, apparently. Okay, cool. Anyways. I downloaded the Steam version. It didn't ask me about, like, the censorship or anything, so I think this'll save me. Just in case. I always trust the Steam versions more. Happy belated birthday. Thank you! I appreciate it. Yeah, you're right, you're right. It was on the 28th. I'm okay, recovering. Pretty poor health the past couple of days, but finally on the rise. I'm glad you're recovering and feeling better. That's good. That's good to hear you've been feeling better, and I hope it continues to be better. That is super good to hear that you're doing better. Take care, QC. And thank you for the wishes. I appreciate them. But I am super glad to hear you're feeling better. I feel like one of my nose... Yeah, my nose keeps blocking up. But thank you, QC. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I looked at the kids wearing the school uniform with envy. The few children who still got dragged in to see my visions still glared at me like I was the cause of all their suffering. The game's not too loud, right? By the way. Or should it be turned down a little? I understand. They were the ones who got to go outside. I wanted to go outside. I wanted to leave that place. Yes? Music is kind of loud? Okay. Maybe a little softer. Okay. I'll turn the music down. Specifically. Menu is kind of loud. Yeah, the menu tends to do that. System volume doesn't have to really exist. There we go. Okay. Maybe this will be better. I wanted to leave that place. I wanted to play with everyone. I wanted to go to school with everyone. I wanted to drink the water with everyone. I wanted to do this and that without any restrictions. They never ever let me go outside, not even once. But yeah, welcome in, QC. I'm glad you're feeling better. The silent is kind of loud. All the sounds are super sharp to me, but can't tell if it's in my head. No, they're pretty jarringly loud. They should be turned down a little bit now, hopefully. The menu is jarringly loud. The menu is insanely, like, sharp for sure. It's wild. They forgot it was my 10th year. So I went outside late one night, cupping water from the river in my hands instead of taking it from my gilded ladle like I was supposed to. I was never loved again. For that? That was it? I woke up the next day feeling nauseous. Dreams about my past were frequent and tiring, but it was better than waking up and living in reality. If I had a choice, I'd never wake up from my dreams, no matter how repetitive they were. You disgust me! There's no way! All I did was drink water! My head, since the thing I have still remaining is a headache, so sensitive to sharp, plucky, whatever that music was. Yeah, no, I think a lot of the, like, menu sounds and some of the whimsical music can always be, like, very plucky. Ew, water, how dare you? No! Guys, we can't all be supporting the cult, please. Please, surely I'm in the right and not the cult. Surely I'm in the right guys? If I had a choice, I'd never wake up from my dreams, no matter how repetitive they were. The cult is pretty convincing. No, Cug! Don't fall to them! Why do you want to be in the right and not in the cult when you can be in the right cult? I don't know if I want to be in any cult. I don't think they like me anymore, honestly. I put on my freshly cleaned uniform and left the room. The tiny hallway outside my room wasn't too busy that day. It was so narrow, just 2 people could barely squeeze through there side by side. What is this audio? I headed down the only stairs to the first floor and entered the hallway parallel to the barrier's aisle. From one of the 3 doors in the aisle, I could hear the head delivering a morning sermon. I didn't want to disturb him out of fear of any repercussions, so I waited patiently for him to finish. Mercy, good morning. I turned around. Oh. Delilah stood there in her school uniform. I smiled a tiny bit, blushing. Are you coming to school today? Yes. I'll be here tomorrow as well. Lately, they've told me I'm doing so well that they don't know what to teach me until my 16th year. So I'll be coming to school a lot more often until then. Are you waiting for the head to finish? I nodded nervously. The only exit is at the vestibule, and the doors are kind of squeaky, so... That combo. You're right, though. That's an accurate combo. Don't worry. Follow close behind me, and you'll be fine. That's a school uniform. I hope it's a winter one. Looks heavy. I don't know what season they're in, but it does seem pretty heavy with the jacket, right? The clouds were really gray, but there was no snow or anything. Maybe it's fall, but all the trees had green leaves, so I have to assume it's either spring or summer. Or the very early of fall. I did as Delilah said and made sure to keep myself hidden when we walked in. The few elderly people sitting at the front pews glanced at her, then returned their attention to the head sermon. He stood at the left transept, standing on the pulpit with a copy of the scripture open before him. I feel like I learn a new church word every time we play a new church game. Because I've never seen transept before. I didn't see Heyyo around, which must mean she was having trouble rising again. I hoped she was alright. And so a lot said to the troubled man, "Keep your head high, sir. This situation is not hopeless. Should one be confronted with a demon, you must first not give him as he desires. Next, you must protect yourself with the barrier invoking its name while lightening a bundle of field grass. And finally, you shall trick him into drinking so much water his belly becomes distended, and he shall never bother you again." That was so loud. Oh my god. An upside down cross, though. Wild. You know how it is. Actually, my cursor is also an upside down cross. Kind of looks like a sword, but it's an upside down cross. I should let you guys see my cursor. Capture cursor. Look. Wait, look. The upside down cross. Anyways. Wokage? That was so loud. No clue who decided to name that piece of clothing a stole, but I don't know how these namings work at all. I learn new ones each time. That concludes this morning's sermon. Bendith, my friends, bendith. The visitor bowed, rose from their seats, and left the building quietly. The head stepped off the pulpit, picking up a cane, leaning against it. Old English stole, in the senses long robe and priest's vestment. Via Latin from Greek stole clothing from stellan array. That made no sense to me. Bye, Brooke. Sleep well, sleep well. That made no sense to me at all. The head stepped off the pulpit, picking up a cane, leaning against it. He approached us slowly, shaking a little with each step. Always liked the sound of his cane hitting the floor. Good morning, you two. Good morning, holy head. Delilah gave him a deep bow. Please, Delilah, you have already become such an incredible heir. There is no need to bow so deeply when you're just starting to surpass your father in skill. Must turn out low again today. Yes, it seems the clergy concerns have even reached you. I hope this drought of faith ends soon. In my head, for ages, but never thought deep on it. Ah. So many words originate from Latin meanings, huh? I worry for the future of the children. Mercy. I stood to attention, snapping out of my idleness quickly. Yes. You were late for dinner last night. I'm very disappointed in you. You've been doing this a lot lately. Perhaps you should go without food today to know what it's like to live in a world where you don't have people who give it to you so generously. I gulped. Sorry? Kaiser? Was busy on the rip. Dang, that's crazy. Wait! League of Legends specifically? I thought you quit, Kaiser! Yo, W35, Kaiser. All good, Kaiser. You win? You win? Okay, Wander. Congrats on the 56 stamps, Wander. Guess now I'm mad that modern English changed it from stole to instead of just stole. English over here, trying to reuse as many words. Pretty much! The Rift, League of Legends. Kaiser, people happy. I hope Wander is not doing well. I'm doing good, Kaiser. I'm pretty tired. My nose keeps blocking itself. And I'm ready to sleep. But, you know, we popped off on Fortnite. We got a win. I had a good nap. And now I'm reading about cult manipulation, torture, violence. Sorry, what was the trigger warnings again of this game? It was extreme bullying, religious and domestic abuse, cults, gore, and torture, and disorienting and surreal scenes. That one. I'm reading about that now. W Fortnite. But how you doing, Kaiser? I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry for your loss, Kaiser. Surely he won and he's happy. That sounds like a Fade game. You'll never believe I found this from Zato. A little torture as a treat for the cults. I don't know if the cult needs the torture. I think it's kind of extra and unnecessary. I gulped. That shouldn't be necessary. It's not her fault. Much of her lateness is due to rituals, which is something she has to do. Yeah, that's what a treat is. Extra and unnecessary. Yeah, but you know, it's just so extra. It would just be putting out the cult, you know. I wouldn't want to put them out extra, you know. But you want it anyways, right? Want is such a strong word, you know. I wouldn't want the cult to do anything extra for me, you know, and put a burden on them when they could just need. Need is also a very strong word. Need is also a very strong word, you know. A very strong word. I wouldn't want to burden the cult, so I'll take my torture to go. Is it not good that she's doing as she's told? Delilah, it's a waste when we have to throw out our food. However, I suppose you're right. Mercy, you've been excused this time. You two eat your breakfast and head to school. It's almost time for the morning drink. Yes, sir. Okay. Torture to go. Got it. I'll get a wheel and some I feel like that's not to go anymore, you know how big wheels are and how heavy rope is? It just wouldn't be as convenient to go, ah, shucks. Maybe I should just, let you save the materials so someone else more appreciative of the torture could wait their turn, I know what made me so worthy of Delilah's protection, but she defended me anyways. She was the only one out of all the other kids that actually cared about my well-being. W. Delilah? But I was sure she'd get sick of protecting me eventually. I must be irritating to deal with. I swear this game just gets louder. I swear this game just gets louder. Delilah's fans crowded around her and kept asking her what she did while she was away. She gave them some blank expression. She gave them the same blank expressions, the same response, but the girls would sigh anyways. It was always just reciting prayers and rituals in the courtyard. She perfected them all only a month after learning them. I can't tell if it's the background talking is swelling in and out, or it's just the music rhythm. There's background talking for sure. The music rhythm itself is loud, but there's definitely an ambient background talking for sure. And I think that's very distracting as well from the sound. From the overall sound, I feel like that's so distracting. Just like how everything else she did was perfect. I couldn't really blame those girls for sighing. Oh. During that day's reading, once again, she spoke with a perfect cadence and flipped the worn pages over her textbook gently. Flowing in and out, as in rising and falling in volume, makes it catch the ear more inconsistent. Oh, that's right. That is true. You're listening for it more because it's shifting audio. W. Fadeless episode, W. Kaiser. Kaiser, if you see that thumbnail and you see the blurred background, that's the board, Kaiser. Wink wonk. That's actually just an upside down cross for sure. Wait, you're right. What is this school about? What is this town about? I didn't see that. Where are we? Good detail. It's thanks to you, Kaiser. Thank you for liking the Fade Yaps episode. I didn't have a topic, so I just yapped. I didn't have a game either. I didn't want to boot up a game after that. My hands were tired. I'll just start. Is that furthest in the back on the left, super pale ghost vibes? That one, it does kind of look like it. I think they only have eye whites as well. And then right behind them is someone sleeping. As you should. Thank you, Kaiser. W. Kaiser. During that day's reading, once again, she spoke with a perfect cadence and flipped the worn pages over her textbook gently. Her words had a nice flow to them that not many could achieve. The god of the two halves descended upon the raised earth. From a single twin-headed seed came the first two families. From the same budding plant, the 100-year stalk connecting them became the head. For 100 years, several short-lived generations, they fought for dominance. They low-key remind me of Danganronpa characters. I can kind of see that. I didn't think everyone in this classroom would get, like, a design. But it was our head that stopped them from uniting. It was our head that stopped them, uniting them, and forming our beloved town. I didn't know this was going to be a scary game. Thought it was just nice, family-friendly cult game with some sitting torture. Soothing? I don't know, it might still be a family-friendly game if those are the descriptions we're going with. It might still fall in there. But it was our head that stopped them, uniting them and forming our beloved town. The sun filtered through the half-shut curtains nicely. Since Delilah sat close to the windows, it shined on her like a spotlight. Family-friendly. I only play family-friendly games, Kaiser. There's just so many, like Zato, this one, Fata Morgana. Definitely just definitely a little bit of like torture as like a treat, as mentioned by QC, you know? The torture's always a treat whenever it shows up in these games. Also ads, so we're gonna chill there. Coffin of Andy and Lele was a little too family friendly. So family friendly, honestly. Just like unmatched family friendly vibes. Unparalleled family friendly vibes. Family friendly vibes that just can't be paralleled.
These hands of mine have been dirty for a long time now. You coming to face me now doesn't faze me at all. Hell, I welcome it even.
He's free! Thank you, Kaiser.
What the heck got me out to those ads?
Thank you, Kaiser, for the 10 buns. Thank you. I appreciate it. Encounter on my own. Thank you, Kaiser. You're free from the ads. He's free. Twitch heard me talking horror, then instantly gave me a horror movie ad. Did I have like torture as a treat? Did the horror movie have some friendly torture? You know, as a treat? I swear, Twitch is trolling sometime. It was a FNAF movie and then Call of Duty 7, but like, you know, I can stretch my imagination. You know, that's pretty much horror anyways. FNAF is horror. For sure. For real. Yeah, FNAF is horror. You know, it fits. I'm just jamming. And Call of Duty 7 is basically horror from the review. From the reviews I've seen, that's basically horror anyway. It's more existential. I guess you're right. I think every Call of Duty fan got put into such an existential crisis, they swapped over to Battlefield. Okay, ads might be over, I think. I don't know why my right nostril keeps blocking itself in. I don't know why that keeps happening. Whatever. It's probably nothing. Blah, blah, blah. Even when low humidity? I wouldn't know how to check that. It's just my right nostril. Also, like, the back of my throat and, like, you know, the connector between your nose and mouth. That's also the sinus. Yeah, I think it's kind of blocked. Has it been happening a lot? Constantly or on and off? Like, right the past hour. Ever since I woke up from my nap. He's sick again. Oh, don't say again. Just lay down on your left side. That might fix it. Nah. Wonder, I can't be sick. I have willed through all sicknesses this year. I don't have time to be sick in December. I need to make things. And then I need to pop off in January on the archipelago. And then I'm free. Oh, by the way, maybe next week we'll do a Hollow Knight randomizer. Just to get a feel of how it goes, you know? Even from where I sat, I could see how soft her hair was. I'm still not sure what that is. Wonder? Just watch the video. Even though you talked about it for so long yesterday. It's just multiple games where you have randomized items for each other throughout each game, and you have to beat it all together. I ask if it's on and off because your brain will automatically switch which is your primary nostril if... Wait, you breathe through every... Wait, it does? I didn't know that. Wait, that's insane. Brain, use both. You need them. Thank you for the heart massa. Brain, I need both. Use both, please. His dutifulness did not go unnoticed. God came again, its trial proving how the world should work. Two extreme sides, with one neutral party to bring them together. To reward them all for succeeding without killing off the other's lineage. God granted them sustenance and food and roofing, and the holy river which provided us with our water. Your nostrils switch due to a process called the nasal cycle, where the body alternates dominance between the two sides to maintain nasal health and optimize your sense of smell. Is one really more optimal than two? Has that ever been the case? We listen to the story at least once a month, so we wouldn't forget where we came from and who we should always appreciate. One is being a quality info backup to my random info tonight. He is an AI, so you can feed him whatever information and he'll find it and bring it back. Seven. Usually in our class, Delilah would read it, but sometimes they let an acolyte in training do it. It had to do with something about how their words bound tightly with holy care. Well, if you do something constantly without stopping, it gets worse, doesn't it? That's literally what sleep is about. But if you think about it... my ears would be used constantly. Right? That's true, right? Ears are used constantly without stop, then they're probably fine, right? I don't know if that's true. I just made that up. But it's probably right. I don't think your ear shut off. I don't think your ear shut off, right? Nah, there's an ear cycle too. There can't be. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. My balance systems are in a cycle? The nasal cycle should not be confused with pathological nasal congestion. Individuals with normal nasal breathing usually do not realize their breathing is asymmetric unless there is underlying nasal obstruction. Ah. I mean, I still could be sick. And this would all be your fault, Wonder. Interesting, interesting. I never quite understood it. I didn't feel any different. Maybe it was the curse. Yeah. I knew! Delilah softly inhaled whenever she needed air, never taking too long, nor making it so short she'd become breathless later on. But God gave the head a special task. Recognizing him as an efficient moderator, it gave him permanent immortality. I always can feel breathing through one nostril more than the other, though I did grow up breathing through my mouth a lot. Ah! So you're probably more sensitive to the difference between it. Interesting. Yeah, I think my sinuses are just blocked. I think it's not. I think I'm just sick. It's fine. It'll fix by tomorrow. Yo, thank you for the dailiest note. Thank you. Some speculate there's a name cycle, but I don't think there's something you experience changeless name. Never, Kung. I've always had just one name and it never changes. At all, ever. Never. Then God delivered to him the holy woman, the divine woman, the woman who speaks the word of God, and tasked him with her safekeeping and purity. Fadest. What? Hope you're doing well. I am! I hope you're doing well too, Note. We're just chillin'. I'm starting to realize maybe I'm getting a little sick, but it'll probably go away by tomorrow anyways, so it's probably fine. But I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Wait, you didn't say, you said you hope I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. I can brain, trust me, I didn't wake up like an hour ago. What is a name? Not real. Dr. Wander, my nose isn't working. What should I do? Wander, you know what treatment to give him. I'm doing well also, thank you. Hey, I'm glad you're doing well. That's good to hear. He's been treated. I'm glad you're doing well. Oh my god, my nose. He's solved, he's fixed. And their work became the fada of today. Clap. Thank you, doctor. I won't forget this. Oh, me next, but in reverse. Reverse? Leaving? Oh, you're not allowed to leave. You have to pay your hospital bill. $1,000,000. Bill? That's right. Congratulations, Agro. You have the bill. Oh, the doctor fixed Synchro, so he has to pay his bill, you know? The class applauded. Delilah bowed and took her seat. What? I only know like 2 bills. It's okay. It's okay. For you, QC, free. For you, Synchro, in fact, pay QC's tax. Some girls sitting next to me sighed, the same ones who approached her this morning. Is this entire town related to each other? It feels like they're pretty locked into this town, right? Without like any outside interaction. I wonder. The same ones who approached her this morning. I played with my pencil and stared at my empty desk. The teacher noticed right away and frowned. Welcome to being American sick. True. Congratulations on your bill, Synchro. I swore it said that the head populated this place with the holy women. Then God delivered him the holy woman, the divine woman, the woman who speaks of the word of God, and tasked him with her safekeeping and purity. With the holy woman, the head populated the town and their work. So we're all descendants of the head, I guess. You know what? We are all related, Wander. Where your health bill is actually billions. I don't want to be American. Congratulations, Synchro. Round of applause for Synchro. Clap, 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 clap. Well, I heard most of blood bags for transfusion come from US. Really? All the way to... Huh. Interesting. Mercy, where are your things? We had to get rid of them. Who is we? Before I could answer, Faust raised his hands. Such a far away... Yeah. Y'all not have blood for keeping? Synchro? Where's your blood, Synchro? Before I could answer, Faust raised his hand. He sat far, far away in the back of the class, right next to one of the doors, so he could leave quickly. All I could think of is an entire shipping container just full of ice and blood. I'd imagine it has to be something along those lines. Maybe a freezer. Oh, teacher. You think she's having another one of those visions? His friends laughed. Yes, donated blood can cross countries, though it is not common for everyday use and is more likely to happen for specific reasons, like disaster relief or specialized medical needs. We got rules so people don't... Wait, you get money for giving your blood? Our blood drives normally are just, you give blood and they give you like a snack and soda. I guess you can get money for plasma donations. You can sell your blood in America too. It's plasma you get money for, right? Isn't blood just... soda? You're telling me that this blood drove here? I'm firing Dr. Wander. That's us too, we just get some snacks? Yeah, that's what we get. Huh. Maybe she has an imaginary friend who makes her do bad things. Yeah, so she'll need punishment, right? Punishment! Punishment! Faust and his rowdy crew chanted and laughed, pounding on their desks to the timing of every syllable. What? All of you be quiet. Delilah glared at them. They immediately shut up, Faust grimacing and growling. Stupid church hound. She looked back at Clara, who sat directly behind her, and Clara cowered. Clara, do you know anything about it? The name is Faust. I don't know how long they've mentioned that name, but interesting. They mentioned it at the start, but as a character, he said he just walked by us. And then this is the first time they've re-mentioned him since the start. Turn on the TV and play popular TV show. Hello? Yesterday, me and my friends noticed she was seeing things, and we saw those splotches she drew in her books. So we decided to throw them out in the compactor. I see. That's your answer, ma'am. The teacher nodded and looked directly at me. Naturally, we cannot let what happened transpire without some sort of ritual. Delilah, I'll leave you to do it after class. Faust is an interesting fairy tale. Not sure if that's quite the right word. I don't think we have a fairy tale about Faust over here. What's it about? Fairy tale? Folklore story? Folklore? Maybe? Yes, ma'am. European. Ah. What's it about? I've heard of Faustian bargains. Wonder, you can't just say words. It's essentially the deal with the devil. Oh! Interesting. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Maybe it's more folklore or fairy tale? I don't know the difference, actually. Faust can refer to a legendary German magician who made a pact with the devil. Wait. Is there a book on this? Like a short story? Like a chamber or something? Germanic legend, that's what it was. Also, I thought it was a doctor. It's a Python library, apparently. If I remember right, it was a story written by a German writer named Goethe. Interesting. Welcome in, by the way, Minus. What am I thinking of? Thought I heard a story similar to this, but maybe I'm thinking of Laplace's demon instead. No, that doesn't seem right either. Huh. Interesting. I'm trying to think if I've read a short story on this or not. Just got here, what's this game about? That's a really good question. I believe it's about a church slash cult with a lot of manipulation and pain and sadness. The synopsis is a small village cut off from the rest of the world. Fada spends its days slowly idling away time by speaking with one another, eating with one another, and dedicating their lives to the Holy Scripture. With a population of only about 145, the town is governed by the minuscule clergy known as the Group, which resides in the church at the top of the hill. They worship a protective god comprised of two halves: barrier, defensive energy, and expulsive, offensive energy. In such a tiny world where becoming a part of the social fabric is essential, young Mercy is denied this. From a young age, she has seen the unseen, and she was taken in by the Group after losing her parents. Upon turning 10, her vision abruptly corrupted, causing panic among the villagers. It was decided by the head priest and holy woman that the only way to deal with the curse was to aggressively apply the cure. In other words, isolate Mercy until she stops seeing things. Now an empty shell of who she once was, 15-year-old Mercy attends school and is constantly bullied by her classmates, some truly afraid of her, but most seeing her as an easy target. The sudden death of the 25... Okay, but yeah. I'm not gonna read that part because that seems like spoilers, but... essentially that. Essentially, we are Mercy, who has been isolated in this town because we used to see good things and now we only see bad things. And this game contains extreme bullying, religious and domestic abuse, cults, gore, and torture, and disorienting and surreal scenes. So, you know, a normal game. Church. So far, all their crosses seem quite attracted to the floor. They do seem to really like being upside down. Population of only 145. And knowing what we know about the population. And then class continued without any further interruptions. I barely paid attention the entire time. Even though I had nothing to worry about since Delilah always kept her punishments mild, I still had a broken heart to repress. In other words, some dark religious stuff. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I also got recommended this from Zato, if you've heard of Zato. aggressively applying the cure reminds me of another favorite quote. What's worse, the sickness or the cure? The quotes aren't usually a question, but I like presenting it as a question. Oh. Honestly, it's more, you think about it more if you present it as a question. Blah, 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 blah. Delilah was so cool. Delilah was so pretty. And yet, I would never get to speak to her like the other girls did. The final bell rang abruptly and pulled me out of my thoughts. The beatings will continue until morale improves. Wonder? Faust leaned against my desk after class ended, his arms crossed. He had a genuinely curious look on his face. He looked depressed all the time. Don't you ever get tired of it? Why are you here? I'm gonna help, obviously. Clara came up with the punishment idea. It'll be fun. For me, anyways. Don't give me that face, Mercy. Okay, so I hate him already. I, dislike him already. I think he's already a bad person. 145, isn't that the number to avoid notable risk of genetic issues? Like 4 to 500? Is it? Apparently everyone in this town is related. Because we all stem from the head and the holy maiden. Oh, don't give me that face, Mercy. You sure are cute when you make the bare minimum effort to look bad. In visual novels, Dempa refers to a psychological horror subgenre characterized by characters who are disconnected from reality, experiencing paranoia, delusion, and madness, often driven by the idea that electromagnetic waves, Dempa, are influencing their minds. This genre explores themes of alienation, conspiracy, and psychological breakdown, with typical settings involving desolation and technology, such as telephone poles and antennas. That's the game that's the genre I've learned to love. Dempa! Dempa sounds like a cute name. It really does. It really does. That is the genre I've come to like. Stop messing with her and get over here if you're going to help. Whatever. Delilah, Clara, and her friends, and Faust and his friends all huddled together as Delilah explained to them what they were going to do. Their voices were low, but I could hear something about a bath. A minute later, the group broke up and approached me. Mercy, come with us. We'll be going to the sink outside. Okay. I followed the group downstairs and out, keeping my distance like usual. The children in grades 1 through 6 got to play outside during lunch, so the communal sink was for washing themselves off when lunch ended. Of course, nobody was washing anything after school. It was a large 3-inch deep basin attached to the outside wall. We'll be using a water-based ritual to counteract the curse. You remember it from last month, yes, Mercy? I nodded quietly. Clara recommended it that time, too. I bent over the basin, my head hanging over the drain. It was one of the most aggressive expulsion rituals Delilah utilized when punishing me. Even though expulsive energy was represented by the color red, it had so many water-based rituals, and the same went for barrier, which was blue, with fire-based rituals. Dempa-sama, can you read me the King in Yellow today? That's fitting. That's fitting. That's too fitting, actually. Fire scared away enemies, and water purified them. That was the logic behind it. Someone turned on all 4 of the faucets. I shut my eyes tight and held my breath once the basin reached full capacity. I felt the surface of the water lightly brush against the tip of my nose. As soon as I did... Someone shoved my head into the water rather forcefully. I recognized their strength. However, I could not, when it was the same strength they used when they beat me. Having fun, Mercy. Faust pulled my head out of the water so I could get air, or perhaps just to say something cruel to me. I faintly heard Delilah reciting some sort of prayer. Oh, divine one, expel from her this curse. My head went right back into the basin. My nostrils filled up with so much water, the back of my throat burned. Every time I thought my lungs would burst, I'd be pulled back up at just the right time to get some air. I was convinced that after years of tormenting me, Faust had memorized even my breathing patterns. Please, any other water as effect? We only have one. The budget only has one. Water, no! Come on, come on. Squirm a little, why don't you? Make it look like it's actually working. No mercy for mercy. Ugh. Before I could completely catch my breath, my face went back into the water. I ended up inhaling some as a result and took my legs in shock. Faust wouldn't pull my head back up. His laughing was muffled by the water in my ears. Okay. He pressed me down harder, my neck squeezed against the edge of the basin. The water turned red. At first, I thought it was because he caused me to bleed, but when a beetle swam around at the bottom of the basin, I knew what was happening. The ritual wasn't working. This is bad. I'd have to endure more punishment. My consciousness floated upwards. It's weird Delilah sees no issue in any of this, by the way. Even though she's been the one who has protected us and the kindest to us, it's really weird she doesn't catch any issue with this. Faust! Just then Faust's hand flew off my head. Someone lifted me up out of the water, holding me in their arms. It was Delilah. What is wrong with you? You don't need to do it so harshly. The point is not to kill. I get it, but you didn't have to hit me so hard, bitch. A little warning would have been nice. Get out of my sight. I'll be telling your parents about what you did. Faust immediately shut up. One of his friends made a low ooh, and Faust's other friends elbowed him. Don't do that, man. You know what his parents are like. Sorry. Whatever. Let's get out of here. With that, Faust left. There's artwork from 2017 and 2003. Yeah, so we're using the new artwork.
What?
Artemis, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? How's the Arknights? Welcome in, Raiders. If you don't know me, I'm Fadelessword. Most people use better Fadeless. I stream brag games to story and fries, art, my videos, platforms, visual novels, RPGs, and other things as well. If you haven't already, please go check out Artemis. Artemis is a funny VTuber who does a lot of variety herself. Been playing some Arknights, also plays a lot of Souls games, very good at Souls games, and also just plays a lot of like puzzles and variety games. So go check out Artemis if you haven't already. Happy birthday, thank you! My birthday wrapped up on the 28th, but due to the timer, it extended for 3 more days. So the thing is only going for 3 more days. But yeah, thank you for the raid, Artemis. Why Marvin exposed me? Hold on. He can't spell your name. Oh, you know what? Fair. But how you doing, Artemis? I hope you had a good stream. How's the Arknights? Also, if you need to raid and get some food, get some water out of bed. Completely understandable. I think it's normally dinner time for you at this time. Where is it? Oh yeah, old art. Yeah, there's old art. And there's the new updated art that we are using. Excuse me. But yeah, thank you for the raid. I believe it's dinner time normally at this time for you, Artemis. So if you do need to, go get your food. Go get some food. To explain what we're playing, this is a visual novel in the Dempa genre, aka psychological, of a story pertaining to a character stuck in a let's put it religious cult-like town where things do not go very well in general for anybody. We like cult, yeah! So as a warning for this game contains extreme bullying, religious and domestic abuse, cult gore, and torture, and disorienting and surreal scenes. We were just drowned for a bit as well, if that helps. Bear cult. That cult seems nicer than the one we're in right now. I started coughing violently, some water rising up out of my throat. I guess Delilah just takes issue with it after the ritual. It feels like she can't stop during the ritual, but I guess after the ritual, she's like, now I care. Mercy, are you all right? I tried to respond, but I only ended up coughing more. Everyone I know is in a cult, and everyone who says they aren't doesn't know it. Surely not everyone's in a cult. Surely they're all happy whether in or out of a cult, right? Mostly out of one. Delilah took that as a sign I wasn't fine and stood up. She pulled me with her and let me lean against her for support as I continued to cough. Let's go home. Good work, you three. Thank you for your help. Clara and her friends waved. Are you not in a cult, Fade? You know, this and that. Maybe, you know, can't disclose those details just publicly and simplistically like that, you know. You know, gotta be like maintained a little. Secrecy. How has to be maintained for secrecy and such, you know? Goodbye, Miss Delilah. She cheerily addressed Delilah while pretending I wasn't even there. The two of us began to make our way up the hill. People gave us strange looks, but Delilah looked on unflinchingly. I don't think we need our daily water from the ladle. As soon as I felt good enough to walk, I stopped leaning on her, and we walked side by side. You've got a little mud on you. I looked down. Just as she said, there was some mud on my clothes. My shoulders drooped. I'll tell ya. She's barrier today, so she'll do something nice for you. I perked up just a tiny bit, trying not to show it on my face. Okay. Only the group and anyone closely associated with them knew the truth about Yea. Holy women are supposed to change their affinity depending on what God's will was. But Yea was defective. She would rise as one energy and stay like that the whole day, never changing until she returned to her nightly slumber. The head suspected it might have been because of her eye injury, which she received before I was born. Oh. We enter the church. Yea was inside, guiding some new acolytes on how to bless the drinking ladles. She glanced up and smiled at us, then dismissed the acolytes. Her dress's long length made it appear as if she was gliding across the carpet towards us. Hello, Delilah. Mercy. Welcome back home. She smiled gently, bowed her head slightly as she spoke. Oh, yeah. Good afternoon. Hi. Yea's gaze traveled down to my clothes, and she gasped in surprise. Mercy, what happened? We were doing an expulsive ritual, but Faust took it too far and got her all dirty. The poor, misguided boy. We keep telling his parents to rein him in, but they seem to be having a hard time no matter what they do. You know, maybe it's because we keep telling his parents all this that Faust keeps beating us up. They've told me they're quite embarrassed considering their family has always been loyal to the group. He's quite the outlier, isn't he? A deep voice, heavy footsteps, and the clack of a cane marked the entrance of the head. He rarely left his office those days, only to eat and deliver sermons, so it was a surprise to see him come out. Good afternoon, Holy Head. Delilah gave him a shorter bow compared to her morning one. Greetings, Delilah. Please stay here with me for a minute. I want to speak to you about your performance lately. I've been thinking about letting you skip straight to your 16th year studies, but we'll need to discuss it in depth. Yes, sir. My head, look at Mercy. She's filthy. Thus, apparently Delilah's too good at school and is too perfect that her skill level is just at a grade 16, at a 16-year-old rather than a 15-year-old, so they want to move her up in class. Apparently. Although if she moves up in class, it's over for us, because there's going to be no one to rein in anybody. I heard. Yeah, you're afraid to prepare a bath. I won't be having Mercy drink the water and eat dinner looking like that. I was hoping you'd let me. Come on, Mercy. Let's go take a bath. The corners of my lips tugged up ever so slightly. I followed behind Yea as she walked past the barrier aisle, exit to the inner hallway, and up the stairs. Just such a sus number? Really? Why? I don't know the associations of 16. We reached the small, narrow hallway upstairs. Some acolytes were running around, carrying things to and from places, forcing Yea and I to squeeze against the wall. It was suffocating. Suffocating, just like... Don't be mad at the boy, Mercy. I know you want to be. As always, Yea seemed to read my mind. I hadn't even realized my fist was clenched until she spoke. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Yes, ma'am. If I kept being nice, then surely, I thought, surely they'd start being nice to me too. Just like that old lady or Delilah. It's nothing, not something I could say. Oh, I got you. Got you. They'd leave me alone. Yea opened a door and let me in first. Inside was a small marble room built with a built-in bath in the middle of it. A tiny hole on the ceiling was right above it. The floor was 1 inch lower than the edge of the door. I stared at my feet and carefully entered. I'd fallen one too many times entering the room without looking, so now I'd enter as slowly as possible. Yea shut the door behind us and helped me undress. She hung my dirty clothes on a small hook on the back of the door. When she pulled the cord, warm water spilled from the hole and filled the depression. It made a big splash when it hit the marble. I flinched when the cold droplets touched my bare skin. Sit, Mercy. I obeyed. The water slowly filled the bath, already covering my feet. The warmth relaxed my muscles. I felt all my stresses wash away. Once the bath was filled, Yea pulled the cord again to stop the water and grabbed a glass bottle filled with shampoo. It was shampoo made by female acolytes specifically for Yea, but she would use it on me anyways. Sometimes I worried I'd get in trouble for it somehow, but she would dismiss me when I asked her to stop. Yea poured water on my hair and began to work the shampoo into a lather on my scalp. She started to hum a familiar tune, and I closed my eyes and listened. In our town of San Roque, poor beggars were having some fun. The crippled man danced, the mute sang. The blind man watched, the deaf man listened. I didn't know what she was saying, but I loved it. She would always sing it when she gave me a bath. Before the curse fell upon me, she would even sing it to me when I couldn't sleep. Way back when I didn't have a mom to sing lullabies to me anymore. It was a goofy sounding song, though unlike all of our dry hymns, it only calmed me because of how low and sweet her voice was. Ia's fingers scratched my scalp, getting every last bit of dirt out. Bubbles! In our humble town that we proudly called our own, people slaughtered insects called gnats. From the fattest of these bugs, when cooked and drained. Dang, what a cute sounding song, as long as you don't translate it. Came oil that filled 9 vats. Pink elephant time. Exactly. The way Mercy commented that the song's like so nice and vibey and chill, but only specifically because she doesn't understand what it means. Is so funny as the lyrics are translated for you. Is the song in Tagalog? Is it? I don't know. Is it? I wonder. Google. Said Filipino. Oh! Interesting. Where does this take place? Does this take place in the Philippines? Or is the song just use Tagalog? Thinking of I should share a song if you haven't heard it for later because it's super cute to listen to the first time, and the second time reading the lyrics along is a different vibe. Okay! Yeah. I had no clue. Ia's figure was reflected in the water along with mine. A minute later, floating soap suds obscured us. I saw my face in the countless reflections in the bubbles. Some dirt washed off me and made the water a little murkier. I stared at the natural patterns in the marble. The marble would make the room slippery when it was wet, but it was really pretty regardless. I almost wanted to sleep. In our town of Malabon City, there's an old man whose fire boiled in a paper pot on a paper stove. For fuel, he used cold water. Ia's finished her song just as she finished cleaning me. She pulled the plug in the bathtub and then pulled the cord and instructed me to get under the water. All the soap washed off me and went down the drain along with the dark muck. Ia handed me a soft towel. I will go set you your nightgown and your ladle of the evening water, little one. Please wait here and dry off while I get them. She left and closed the door behind herself. I pat my skin dry and sat in the bathtub, resting against the edge. The towel acted as a blanket, and I felt myself drift off. Oh, so she did end up falling asleep. I got an achievement for that as well. What are you doing? Huh? I looked down at the girl who had approached me. Most kids were playing out in the fields or in the town, but for some reason, this girl was spending her time in the church. When I looked closer, I noticed she had white blotches on her face. I thought it was cool. I'm waiting. Waiting for what? Now that I had thought about it, I didn't really know what to call the people who came to me for visions. As any other 6-year-old child would, I came up with a name on the spot. Vision Likers. What are Vision Likers? People who like visions. I gave out the visions. Sometimes people like to hear them. She perked up. Oh, I think I know you. Isn't your name Mercy? What do you see? I had never seen her around. There was no way she didn't know. When people found out what I could do, everyone except the sick came to visit me. So clearly she must have been sick and nobody told her. And I see lots of things, like pretty butterflies. Heyyo translates the visions for me. The Holy Woman, yeah, she likes me a lot. Wow, that's cool. Who are you? Huh? Me? My name's Delilah. I'm training. Wanna see my training stick? I had no idea how to respond to that because I didn't know what the word training meant. She bounced up and down excitedly, anticipating my answer. Training? She patted her head on the platform happily. She patted her hands on the platform happily and pulled a miniature ceremonial staff out of her canvas bag. I guess she didn't care whether I said yes or no. I'm gonna be a cool priesty lady. I'm the heir of the family, which means I'm at the top. This is my magic stick. What family? She gave me a giant grin. It was so wide, I worried she'd split her face in two. The Explosions clergy. I'm gonna be a hero. Just then, Heyyo ushered her away to a man and a woman dressed in robes with red accents. The man's skin and hair color looked a lot like hers, but the woman shared her face and hair texture. I looked at her in awe as she left. That was the first and only time I'd seen Delilah so excited. What? Only time? When the curse came upon me, I almost screamed. I woke up seeing nothing but beetles crawling all over the wall and leafless trees growing from the window pane. Everything was blurry and murky, almost inky at some points. They looked like the pictures I'd drawn, but I stayed quiet. I feared what would happen if I told anyone, and instead pretended it was business as usual. For a while it worked. I only had to replace the beetles with butterflies. They're both insects, and they can both fly, so nobody suspected anything. But I think the head could tell something was wrong with me. He pulled me aside into his office later that day and asked me if I was alright. He asked me again, and then asked me something strange. Did you go out last night? I didn't reply at first, but I knew the answer was written all over my face. I broke out in a cold sweat. Yes. What did you do? His voice sounded quiet yet serious. Oh, what did you do? His voice sounded quiet yet serious, like a father preparing to chide his daughter. That was what it reminded me of. I went to the river. Did we get a parasite in that second we went to the river? He gestured for me to continue a little hastily. I drank from it. It tasted weird and I felt bad. And then I went right home. In a moment, I would never forget his eyes turned stone cold. No, in retrospect, behind that frigidness, I saw a fear. Whoa! That's not fear! Damn it. The head reacted in a way I didn't expect him to. He pulled at his hair and as he yelled. That is not fear! That man wants me dead! Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! You've done it now, you really have! Now me! He stormed out of the room, leaving me all alone, confused. Maybe she saw fear as in something she feared. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it was her fear, because I'm scared. He didn't come back for an hour, and it was getting late, so I left for my own room. An hour after that, 3 acolytes rushed into my room. There you are! The head asked us to retrieve you. Come outside, hurry! Outside? He wanted me to come outside? I was confused, but I followed them regardless, without asking any questions. Oh no. It was late at night. The moonlight lit the town with its glow. In the distance, I could see people crowded around the river near an upright cross-shaped structure. They all held some kind of pole. The closer we came, the better I could see, and in that moment, I realized those poles were sharpened. They were the torture tools we used for heretics, as written in scripture. When the acolytes and I made it to the river, I gasped at what I saw. A woman I barely recognized in the darkness hung from that cross. I could see her expression, but she was silent. I sensed a strong will from her. It was definitely the woman that was with Delilah, her mother. The head stood near the cross, yelling at the crowd, whipping everyone into a frenzy. You're the wife of a clergyman, and you have betrayed this town. You have betrayed your own people. You tried to escape from your duty. And for your crimes, we will make your punishment swift. His teeth shined white as the moon. Spit flew from his mouth. He was angry. Really, truly angry. People waved their poles around and yelled incomprehensible curses at her. There were even children standing around and brandishing the weapons. Do you have any last words before your punishment begins, heretic? Perhaps an apology will earn you a kinder spot in hell. The woman struggled to inhale and then spoke as firmly as she could. The only person I will ever apologize to is my daughter for failing her. Where is my child? You little die! Woo! The poles gouged into her limbs, her hips, her torso, her face. Not once did she scream. Blood poured from her body, spilled onto the ground, soaking into the soil. The pole soon became covered in her blood. I watched from afar, never shutting my eyes. Soon her arms popped out of their sockets with a sickening sound, appearing to grow significantly in length. I just thought she was bullied. What is this? She let out her last sigh and stopped moving. The villagers unceremoniously dumped her body in the river along with the poles. She floated down, down, down. The river ran far, way beyond the town. All we knew was that it was holy. Nobody knew where it ended, because nobody was allowed to leave. Oh, she was bullied. I don't know. I think there was a little bit more. And if you tried to leave... I sat at the first row of pews, bored. I woke up too early because of the nap I had last night. But I didn't miss dinner again, so I was able to save myself from losing any meals. Only 2 acolytes were in there with me, minding their own business and cleaning the stained glass. Good morning, Mercy. You're up early. Delilah entered and approached me when she saw me. She had her school uniform on again, which was a relief. You have trouble sleeping last night. I shook my head. Nobody allowed to leave, but there goes a body floating down the river out of town. Sorta seems like leaving in a way. Maybe they meant no one's allowed to leave alive. Maybe that's the specific case they meant it in, based on what I'm seeing and experiencing. I shook my head. I see. I'm glad. Delilah sat down next to me and flattened the folds in her skirt. Give me a straw, and I can hide under a fiber body. Okay. Maybe that's the way to escape. You leave with one of the bodies they've executed. A river body. Ah! You know what? Honestly, maybe that is the way to escape. You just leave with the river bodies. Delilah sat down next to me and flattened the folds in her skirt. We stared at the acolytes doing their work. Upon closer inspection, I realized they were the same 2 Heyyo was instructing yesterday. The head is insisting I skip to the next level of my studies, even though he said I've surpassed my father. I'm in reposition, had to lean back and close my eyes because the drowning music hurt. That's fair. That music was pain. No worries, no worries. I think he's desperately trying to impress the town with any method he can think of. I nodded, unsure of what to say. Delilah had always been on top of the group's internal politics, more than I could ever have hoped to be. Mercy, you're smiling. I quickly stopped smiling. That doesn't mean you have to stop smiling, Mercy. What are you thinking about? You care about the town a whole lot. Do you think so? Well, that's the only place I know, so I don't see a reason why I shouldn't. I twiddled my thumbs and mumbled to myself. I wish I had that sort of kindness. It's nothing. I stared up at the ceiling. Delilah was cool and Delilah was pretty, but most of all, she was incredibly kind. All I ever thought about was hiding or running away. But Delilah was so much stronger than me. I took the moment as a rare chance to talk to her normally, like all the other girls did. Hey. Yes? Have you ever thought about walking down that path out of town? The acolytes abruptly stopped cleaning. Delilah and I went silent. Don't you two have a job to be doing? The two quickly went back to work, whispering to one another. I hung my head low and dropped the subject. Never mind. I should probably get going. You should too. The congregation will be coming in for the morning sermon any time now. Okay. I'll also be a little late today, so see you at school. Quick pause for the ads. I wonder where this game's going. I'm very curious where this game's going. Because it feels like we're hooked. I think in terms of like my character being Mercy and everything, I don't think Mercy is bound to ever be happy. I think Mercy is bound for forever sadness. I just read the features of this game. Taking this break to get water, all good, get some water. I just read the features of this game, and it says over 80,000 words of good old cult horror toxic Yuri in linear choiceless narrative. Wow. An unlockable bonus epilogue story for the 5th anniversary. Accessibility features. Toggle violent images. How long is this game meant to be? I didn't actually look into that. Soundless, a modern Salem in a remote area. Game length. The creators of this game are most certainly very gay. It is like a Yuri story. I know it was toxic Yuri though. I did not know it was toxic Yuri. Wait, this is only 3 hours? No shot. That means it's at least 3 streams. Yeah, I didn't think it was toxic Yuri though. But I mean, the toxicity probably comes from the fact that I most likely got Delilah's mother killed. From the sound of it, I'm thinking I got Delilah's mother killed. In my opinion. But maybe I didn't get Delilah's mother killed and it's all in my head. You know? You feel me? I wonder how far into the game I am. Okay, ads are done. I'll be a little late today, so I'll see you at school. I must have scared her. The day was uneventful. I didn't see anything, so there was no punishments. In a rare move, Clara sat next to me with her friends during lunch. Hey, Mercy. I glanced at her, then glanced at Delilah. She sat in her seat, reading her textbook like always. I was prepared to whine if Clara tried to do anything out of line, but that had a low chance of happening. After all, if Delilah was there, then Clara would be a good girl. Hey, Mercy, answer me. Clara's voice was low and dangerous. What? Why are you acting all buddy-buddy with Delilah, huh? What? You heard me. Pretending to drown just to get her attention. You're the lowest of the low. How dare you almost drown for her attention? You're a real scumbag. You know she's too nice to you, so you took advantage of that. I wasn't pretending. Yeah, right. It's too bad you don't have any more books for me to compact, or I'd get rid of some more curses for you. Sauce water, no! That combo is wild, but accurate. Apparently it's Zoomy Hour. Oh, really? For the cats, I'm assuming. I clenched my fist. What was she trying to say about me? Oh, you look angry. It's been a while since you've looked at me with such contempt. Should you even be allowed to feel that towards me? You're no saint, Mercy. I know you. My heart sunk, my stomach churning. The anger in me left, quickly changing into guilt. With that, they stood up and took their bags with them. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So, do the very least and stay away from Delilah. Though, if you really want my forgiveness, you could try killing yourself. Whoa! It would make everyone's lives easier if we didn't have to deal with you. Whoa, Clara! In front of Delilah? I gripped the edges of my desk. Faust whistled. His legs were propped up on his desk, a single bag of peanuts in his lap. Wow, that was harsh. Impromptu? He waved his hands in the air like he wanted to ask the teacher a question. Mrs. Holy Delilah, Clara said a mean thing. Oh, shut up. She doesn't care. Clara, Mercy hasn't done anything today. Please come here and speak with me instead. I'd be much happier if you did. Yes, Miss Delilah. Clara seemed genuinely hurt. She and her friends took their seats, and I felt a small amount of satisfaction at her little defeat. That was just so weird. I don't know what he's going for. So she's saying she wants to do either of those things to herself, since she's implying that she wants you to think she should do those things, do unto others, before saying that stuff is wild. You're kind of right, but I think she meant like either do unto others by staying away from Delilah, or do the other thing. After school, hey, you are absolutely right that starting with that is wild. After school, something mildly irritating happened. Children from the 3rd grade class crowded around me and began throwing rocks at my ankles. Just randomly? Crowd kinda loud. Yeah, because they're throwing rocks at my ankles. No mercy for mercy. No mercy for mercy. No mercy for mercy. I could only guess they picked up that chant from Faust and his delinquent friends. It stung a little at first, but as they continued, it soon became dull and predictable. I refused to give them the satisfaction of seeing me upset. Kids who messed with me usually got bored when I did that, but these children were particularly persistent. Hey! When I reached the river, the old woman who always sits on her porch yelled at the kids. They scattered and ran off, giggling about the fact they got in trouble. She gave me a little wink and I returned her kindness with a small smile and a nod of my head. I took one step and... Faust! Get back here! Faust, listen to your father, now! No! Shut the hell up! Leave me alone! The door to one of the homes burst open. I immediately recognized Faust. He was still in his school uniform. Did he just get home? Inside the home, at the entrance, stood a tall man and a stout woman. They both looked a lot like him, and they were fuming with anger. Faust, we need to talk. Get over here now, or you won't like what I'll do. No. What are you, 5? You caused another disruption during class, and we've had enough. I'm going to talk to Hector and Sammy. You guys can go die. That was the breaking point for his father. He rapidly approached Faust and raised his fist in the air. Oh. Faust didn't have enough time to defend himself and fell to the ground, his cheek red. His mother glared at him with contempt. Not a hint of worry could be seen in her features. You will never speak to us like that. Ever. Get inside. Faust, defeated, raised his head off the ground, dirt smeared all over his cheek. When he looked up, he saw me. He gave me a dark glare. I stepped back reflexively. Faust stood with a huff and entered his home, and his mother shut the door behind him with a loud bang. Faust is Vadim, 100%. I stared at their door for what seemed like forever. His parents were really strict. They reminded me of how my own were at one point, just a little. For once in the 5 years I've known him, I felt a tinge of sympathy, but no more than that. Or got mad at you because he decided to be an idiot? Exactly. Because he decided to bully me and then got reported for it. And then, you know, unfortunately what happened at his home, but I'm not responsible for any of that. He's mad at me now. Usually how it goes. That is how it goes, actually. Unfortunately. I don't get humans. No one does, really. Mercy. I froze. His voice called to me, and it was cold. How long have you been standing there? Any longer, and dinner will be cold. Dinner won't be ready until after we drink from the river. You always think it's dinner at the wrong time when you get like this. That's what I wanted to point out, but I nodded, gulping down my back talk. Standing behind her was an acolyte, likely an escort. She handed me a ladle, knowing I should drink first before I inevitably become trapped in the church. Heyyo was a little stranger when she was expulsive. So the group was slightly more forgiving towards me, but only to hide her defects. Never for my sake. I got my water, and then we left. Ooh. Like 2 personalities, essentially? Yeah, had the head, and I sit at the small dining table. Everyone who lived at the church had to eat in rounds because it was so small. An acolyte placed our meals in front of us. That night, it was rice and beans. We all clasped our hands in prayer. The head spoke with great respect, hands clasped so tightly to the point where they shook. That water can't be good for the body. Come on, river and through a gilded ladle? What could really be wrong with the water? Nah, apparently after she drank the water, we started seeing beetles and such in our vision. I think there's probably a parasite in the water, but that's just a guess. Depends on how high up the river they are. I think. The thing is, they dispose of bodies in the river as well. Although, I guess it's how far the river travels again, though, right? Yeah. But I guess if they're high, it's all downstream. Okay. Oh, Divine Lord, thank you for the meal you have provided for us. We would not be able to live without your holy sustenance, and for that we thank you for always following your grand guidance. Bendeth. Bendeth. We picked up our spoons and began to eat. As I ate, sometimes my food would spill from my mouth. The bland sauce from the beans trickled out between my trembling lips, and Heyyo watched me like a hawk. My spoon clinked against the plate. Mercy, stop that. I didn't look up at Heyyo. I didn't even try clarifying what that was with her, and ate slower, assuming that was the cause. The spoon hit the plate again. I said, stop that. My hand shook. Nobody moved. Stop what? Stop what? Yeah? Can't see what the problem is. The head gave her a stern glance. That cling noise. It's giving me a headache. She pointed her finger at me, eye unblinking. The acolyte standing watch near the door started to mumble and whisper, giving me concerned glances. What happened? But yeah, I am eating the same way. I know. But when she does it, it feels louder. Mercy. I didn't reply. A beetle crawled under my wriggling rice as my sauce bubbled. Shaking and shivering, I stared right at my spoon. When I looked up, Heyyo's flesh had expanded significantly. A single ink tree grew from her eye patch. Yep. Tears formed in my eyes. Please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll do whatever you want. I don't know what I did wrong, so please stop trying to touch me with your flesh. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. What is happening? Heyyo used her massive arm to shove my plate off the squirming table. It shattered on the floor, causing ink branches to grow where the food landed. I can't take this anymore. You're such a dumb child, Angelica. No more for you tonight. Go to your room. I didn't get to finish. She raised one arm in the air so high it hit the ceiling, making it burst open and splatter ink everywhere. That meant no more back talk. I shuffled up and away as fast as I could, not wanting to get Heyyo any angrier. Bendeth is a great modern term when you want to name your kid Ben, but don't want it to be Benjamin. Do people name their kids Bendeth? Because I feel like it would work. I always think it's a name, to be honest. I shuffled up and away as fast as I could, not wanting to get Heyyo any angrier. Why was I always doing something wrong? I just wanted to feel safe. I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like it would be a name, but it'd be a cursed name. Okay. With that crazy section that I just experienced out of the way, let's call it a night. Let's call it a night. Bend it over. Wonder's a sicko. I am ready to go to sleep. Cut it. Wonder's a sicko. Thank you for the follow, Minus. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're gonna continue this game next week. Probably on the... someday next week. I don't know which day just yet, but someday next week. Pretty cool game. I'm liking the vibes. And by the vibes, I mean I'm terrified to see where it goes next. I am terrified to see where it could ever go next. But I'm sure it's fine. Tomorrow we're gonna play Soul Hackers 2, by the way. And then Wednesday is unfortunately Jump King. And then Thursday's gonna be Shenmue. Friday is gonna be Dispatch. Saturday is actually a break day. Oh my god. And Sunday is gonna be something else. Hi Vermilion, how you doing? Wait, you're ending? We are. I'm ready to go to bed. Also, because I can feel a little bit of a cold coming, so I need to preemptively bedge that. Man, it's all good. How are you, Vermilion? How are you? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Shenmue? Yeah. A mutual JB So Nasty, longtime friend of mine, gifted me the game and said you need to now play this game. But last time I played it, it crashed on me. So I put it in the schedule. In very descript words. It says, what does it say? It says, Thursday Shenmue at 8 p.m. PST. Jay, I swear if this game crashes again. I just woke up. Ooh, good morning. It's pretty early. And actually, you're probably a little ahead on time zone. Yeah, we're playing through Shenmue. I watched your playthrough on VODs. Can't wait to watch it. Hey, thank you for watching the VODs. Hey, yeah, it'll be Thursday at 8 p.m. PST. But sometimes I delay, so if you ever want to keep up with any delays I have, it'll be in the Discord. I will let you know in the Discord. Thank you for watching the VODs. I appreciate it. I hope it doesn't crash. I hope so too. For my sanity, I hope so too. For Jay ever seeing the gameplay ever again, I hope so too. It's technically, oh my god, that's super morning. You know what? It's still morning though. Good morning. It is 3 a.m. for me, but I am ready to go to bed. At least hopefully preemptively stop any cold or sickness ahead of time, But I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing a more normal stream tomorrow. Wednesday should be a longer stream. Thursday will be a normal length stream. Friday should be a longer stream. Saturday is no stream. Yippee. Sunday is gonna be a Elden Ring stream, which will probably end up being a longer stream. Sleep well game. Thank you, Kaiser. Appreciate you. That fits into one of my 3 ways of labeling morning, which is that you woke up and therefore it's morning. I see. Mine is, as long as I haven't slept yet, the night hasn't ended. But even if I wake up and it's a short sleep, it's a nap. But thank you for dropping in, Vermilion. I appreciate you. I'll be live at a normal time tomorrow, so hopefully that's better. My 3 are the sun, 6 a.m., or wake up. You know what? Fair enough. All right, who do I send you to tonight? Tonight. This person just ended stream. One of these days I'll catch your stream at a normal time. One of these, it'll happen. I believe in you. I've been lurking in yours. The vibes are always so good. I need to chat. I need to send a message though. Morning is past sunrise for me. Morning can be the sun still up. It'll still be night even if the sun is still up and shining through my window. As long as I have not slept, it is still nighttime. Debbie Ryan haircut. that need Fade to stream at a normal time. I stream at a normal-ish time sometimes, occasionally. Totally didn't start stream at 1 a.m. today, but other times, so much normal. So normal, much wow. Haha. Why? I definitely did start at 1 a.m. today because I took a nap because I was sleepy. I don't know where to send you. I have like 4 options. I have 4 options. You know what? I'm gonna send you to Lofi. I believe. I'll send you to Lofi. He's doing this event thing where he plays songs off of a certain theme that you can recommend to him, 3 per day, and depending on which songs he picks out, he'll record them and put them onto a cassette tape that he'll have saved forever under a certain theme. And currently his theme is like winter, snow theme. So, hey, if you want to recommend him a song, feel free to go give him a song. He absolutely loves when his spreadsheet is filled with songs, because then he has to go through just so many more. So you should definitely go recommend him any winter themed songs you have. Raids are actually open. I know it's a first. Luffy also made a lot of like cool stuff for me, like nice birthday messages and a 3D. Hold on, I can just show it. It's Luff made this thing. He's a 3D pixel VTuber, so go check him out. Give him a follow, show him some support. Longtime friend. I think the first person I met on Twitch, actually. Oh, well, I guess second person. The person I have known probably the longest on the platform. But yeah, thank you for dropping in. Thank you, Demon Idol, for the offline follow. Thank you, Demi, for the 3 streak. Thank you, Tails, for the raid. Thank you, Kaiser, for the resub. Thank you, Artemis, for the raid. Thank you, Minus, for the follow. Yay, yeah! Go check him out. Give him a follow, show him some support. Thank you for dropping in, everyone. I appreciate you stopping by. I will see you tomorrow for a more normal time stream. And I guess for most of this week, surprisingly. All right, bye, Vermilion. Bye, QC. Bye, Minus. Bye, Wander. Bye, Kaiser. Bye, Demi. Bye, anyone lurking as well. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.